सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतः चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयः यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. Yes. So yesterday we had seen King Parīkshit, when he comes to know that he has been cursed to death and he has only 7 days to live, so he renounces everything and takes the lifestyle of an ascetic, goes to the bank of Ganga and takes a vow of fast unto death. So when this news spreads all over the world, all the great Rishimunis, saints and sages, all of them along with their Shishyas, they come and all of them decide that they will stay there only till Parīkshit leaves his body. So then when Parīkshit asks this question, what is it that I am supposed to do now? I have only 7 days. At that time, Shuka Brahmarshi comes. He was worshipped, made to sit. He was given the seat of honor. And the same question Parīkshit asks him. Now that I am going to die, what is it that which should be remembered, which should be contemplated upon, which should be repeated, which should be meditated upon? What is it that I should do now? So then Shuka Brahmarshi makes it very clear, you must hold on to that which is imperishable. The cause of our sorrow is that we are holding on to everything perishable. Whatever you see in this world, everything is perishable. There is only one thing which is imperishable, that is Bhagavan. Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi Shrotavyaha Kirtitavyaha Smartavyaha Cha Ichchata Bhayam. This is the one thing to be done. And now, Shuka Brahmarshi says, Etavan Sankhya Yoga Bhyam Swadharma Parinisthaya Janmalabhav Paraf Pumsam Ante Nārayana-smriti. Whatever kind of yoga you practice, it doesn't matter. Whether it is karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, it doesn't matter. What matters is the ultimate thing you achieve. And what is the ultimate thing to be achieved? Janmalabha paraha. This is the greatest gain of this life. And what is it? Ante Nārayana-smriti. At the time of death, when you are leaving the body, are you able to remember the Lord? Is that smriti there? Smriti means memory. Are you able to hold on to the Lord at the time of death? Then that is the greatest gain of this life. Janmalabha, paraha, ultimate gain. It is said that it is very difficult to remember the Lord at the time of death if you have not remembered Him throughout your life. Prana prayana samaye kapha vata pittehi kantavarodhana vidau smaranam kutaste. It is said. At the time of death, this kapha, vata, pitta and all makes the life miserable of this person. At that time, remembering Bhagavan is very difficult unless he has developed intense samskara. The Devi samskara has to be so strong. Then that momentum will carry you through. So here, Shuka Brahmarshi says, it doesn't matter what path you take. Whatever be the path. The ultimate thing is, at the time of death, Bhagavan should be remembered. There's the same similar verse comes in 8th chapter also, isn't it? Antakalecha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaf prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshaya. At the last moment, the one who remembers me and leaves the body, he reaches me. What about others? Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tameveti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. Whatever thought come to you at the time of death, according to those thoughts, that person takes the next birth. He goes to the other worlds. So what kind of thought will come at the time of death? What you have cultivated throughout your life, what kind of samskaras you have given to the mind, those samskaras alone bubble forth at the time of death. You can't choose. It is a momentum of the past which carries. So therefore, this is the greatest gain. And so therefore, Parīkshita says, you don't have to worry. There are 7 days left. And 7 days, it's quite a good time to fix the mind unto the Lord. Now that doesn't mean that we should also wait for 7 days. Parīkshit, because he knew that death was near, everything has become intense in him. Mumukshutvam has become intense. Sincerity has become intense. Dedication has become intense. For a person to take a vow of fast unto death, just imagine the kind of, intensity he must be having. With that intensity, yes, 7 days sufficient. So therefore, 7 days are sufficient. You just listen to what I say. So therefore, now it is said, Shuka Brahmarshi decides to give him Shreemad Bhagavatam. That is how this Bhagavatam comes. Looking at a very qualified student of spirituality, Shuka Brahmarshi decides to stay back. So now in brief, he tells it's a bird's eye view as to what one has to achieve, what one has to do, and what is the thing to be achieved. So yesterday we were saying, so what is it that a person who knows he is going to die, what is he supposed to do? leave everything, cut off all his attachments to everything which is anatma, go to some tirtha kshetra, take a bath, freshen up, and with that, make yourself comfortable on a seat, and then jitashwasaha, through pranayama, quieten the mind, and then start chanting the name of the Lord, whether it is Omkara or Ishtadevata. Start chanting and pay attention to that chanting. So then what happens? The mind becomes single pointed. So yesterday we were at this point. So the sense organs have to be withdrawn from the sense objects. The senses have to be withdrawn with the help of the mind, and the mind has to be withdrawn with the help of the intellect. Slowly, slowly go within. So one problem we will face is manaha karma bhirakshiptam. Mind will be disturbed. So yesterday this technique was being discussed. When the mind is disturbed, and naturally the mind will be disturbed whenever you go out. You go out into the world, you interact with the world and come back, mind will have absorbed some impressions. Because of according to the happenings in the outer world, mind will have some disturbance. So according to the kind of disturbance the mind has, accordingly you must meditate upon the Lord. So what is said here? Tatra ekavayavam dhyayet avyuchinnena chetasa. With a single pointed concentration, you meditate on that aspect of God which will remove this particular type of impurity. Because impurities of the mind also, they are varieties. Varieties of impurities are there. So what kind of impurity you are suffering from, accordingly you have to apply the medicine. So there are different aspects of God. That aspects most probably we will see today evening or tomorrow. So the prayer of Shuka Brahmarshi unto the Lord. So in that so many aspects come. So some of them we can just mention. Bhagavan is all compassionate. Now this is the nature of Bhagavan. We must have understanding about what is the nature. He is very compassionate. No doubt. He is very loving. But unto whom does he shower compassion? Those people who surrender unto him. Those people who confess that yes, such a mistake I have done. These are my impurities. He is not trying to hide it. He is not trying to escape from it. Such a person who confesses everything, such a person who totally surrenders unto him, then what is the nature of Bhagavan? He showers his grace and blessing. Now this is the nature of Bhagavan. This is one aspect. So whenever we succeed in life, there is a tendency to have that, what you call, pride. Pride comes up. Now that is a particular kind of agitation. Manaha karma bihi akshiptam. So this is a vikshepa. This is a kind of disturbance. So what should be done? Even when we succeed in life, the tendency is to have pride. But then, what is the thing to be thought of? There are so many ways. One sample is understanding that all my abilities and talents belong to Bhagavan. This way, that vikshepa has to be neutralized, sublimated. So various kinds of emotion come. Hatred is there, anger is there, jealousy is there, greed is there, revenge is there, suppression is there, depression is there. Varieties of feeling come. Accordingly, you have to meditate upon the Lord. So God also has got so many aspects. He is omniscient, He is omnipotent, omnipresent, compassionate, consoling, loving, guiding. Also He is the karma phala data. So whenever we tend to do something immoral, wrong, so what is the aspect to be remembered? Remember Him as the witness who is seeing everything. Consciousness is seeing everything. So the moment you are what you call tempted to do something wrong, Meditate upon Him as karma phaladata, as Sakshi in you. This is called Avyava Dhyāna. Sometimes you doubt God. I don't think God is there. Then start meditating upon Sat aspect, existence. Am I existing? Yes. That existence actually belongs to God. I have misunderstood His existence as my existence. This is how you should think. Who exists actually? Bhagavan alone. Now I have misunderstood His existence as my existence. So this is called Avyava Dhyāna. What is the kind of impurity mind is suffering from? Accordingly, you have to apply the medicine. The thing is, you must have medicine in the first place, you must have the medicine. How will you get this medicine? What to apply when? You get this medicine only in satsang. What is the nature of God? You come to know only in satsang. That is the glory of satsang. The more and more you listen to it, the more and more you understand the nature of God, and accordingly you are able to contemplate on God. So this way when you do, what happens? Manaha nirvishayam yuktva. That mind becomes nirvishaya, free from all kinds of worldly vasanas. The mind becomes free from vasanas. Now these are these vasanas which are the impurities which is preventing us from experiencing the Lord which is there in our heart. So when all the vasanas are gone, what is being said? Tataha kinchana nasmare. After that, may you not remember anything. May you not create agitation. As the mind has become quiet and quiet and quiet, then don't disturb the mind. A similar verse comes in Bhagavad Gita. What is it? What is that? Atma samstham manakritva na kinchitapi chintayet. The same idea is coming here. Once the mind has abided in the self, don't again disturb it. Remain in that peace. So what is being said here? Padam tat paramam vishnoho mano yatra prasidati. That absolute peace which you experience when the mind has become free from all kinds of impurities and vasanas, that peace, that cheerfulness, the joy, that fulfillment, here it is said that itself is Vishnu's paramam padam, the supreme abode. Now what are the problems which a seeker will face in this meditation? Rajastamobhyamapkshiptam vimudham mana atmanah yachedharanaya dhiraha hantiya tatkritam malam. Now the mind has got three states, sattva, rajas and tamas. When the mind is sattvic, meditation is excellent, it is wonderful. But when the mind gets into tamas and rajas, meditation will be disturbed. So what are the kind of disturbance which tamas and rajas will create? Tamas will create vimudham manah. It becomes dull. When you are under the influence of tamas, you feel like sleeping. You don't feel like sleeping, you sleep. You sleep off. This is the effect of tamas. Vimudham manah. Mind becomes dull, inactive. No interest is there. This is called as laya. Technical term is laya. And when mind is filled with rajas, what happens? Akshiptam. It is called as vikshepa. A rajasic mind is agitated. It keeps wandering around. A tamasic mind goes to sleep. These are the two major problems experienced in meditation. How to overcome it? Well, what is needed is purity of mind. If mind is in tamas, it has to be raised to sattva. So how to raise the mind into sattva? Develop more and more devotion for God. Develop more and more noble qualities in oneself. This is the only way. Cultivate all noble virtues. Nitya sattvasto bhava, Bhagavan says. Always keep the mind in sattva. the more and more your thoughts are noble, pure, God-oriented, that mind will remain in sattva. And once the mind is in sattva, that mind is available for all kinds of spiritual practices. And what about this wandering mind? What to do with wandering mind? Here it is said, practice concentration. Yeche dharanaya dhiraha. Dharana has to be practiced. Again, concentrate. Again. When the mind wanders, bring back the mind. Fix it. Abhyasena cha kaunteya vairāgyena cha grihyate. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. Pramathi balavadridham. This is the nature of the mind. But again and again, when you do this dhyana abhyas, again and again concentrate, because it needs tremendous amount of strength. This strength will not be seen outside. It is a mental strength. When the mind goes out, bringing back the mind and fixing it unto the goal, it needs tremendous strength. Intellect has to be very strong. Clarity in knowledge has to be really good. Bhakti has to be there. These are all the factors which will help you fix the mind upon the goal. But for that, you have to keep on practicing. Then what happens after a prolonged practice? Yasyam sandharyamananam yogino bhakti lakshanah ashu sampadhyate yogah ashrayam bhadram Yasyam sandharyamananam. Over a period of time, as you keep on practicing, what happens? Slowly, the bhakti starts increasing. Along with bhakti, vairāgya also increases. And then, in yourself, as the mind becomes more and more pure, more and more sattvic, in yourself you see a state. What kind of state? Bhadram Āshraya and Īkshitaha. Bhadram means most auspicious, the one which you are craving in life. Bhadram, auspicious, secure, safe, the most wanted, the most fulfilling. That state which is ashrayam, which is the very support, that you start experiencing in yourself. Ashraya means support. Support of what? Support of the entire world, not only the support of this BMI, body mind. You start experiencing in yourself a state which is immortal, which is unaffected by the ups and downs of the world, which is of the nature of consciousness, which is of the nature of bliss. You start experiencing intuitively in yourself a state which remains unaffected by the external fluctuations. Bhadram Āshraya and Īkshitaha. You will see it. You will experience it. And once you start experiencing that state of, that state which is imperishable, which is the ultimate truth, which is the very support of the whole world, then it is said, Ashu sambadhyate yoga. Such a person has attained yoga. Such a person has attained union with the truth, union with the self. So in and through the BMI is functioning, you see a changeless substratum always as the very core of your being. So that is what is said in Bhajagovindam. Satsangatve nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischala tattvam. That tattvam, that truth, you find what is the truth? Nischala tattvam, imperishable, non-changing. That truth you will come to know. Nischala tattve Jīvan-mukta. The same thing has been said here. But you have to constantly practice. Chitta Shuddhi is needed. Chitta Ekagrata is needed. Chitta Shuddhi, purity of mind. Once the mind is in sattvic state, it is pure. Then practice concentration. Anything with practice, it develops. Now what has happened is, throughout the day, mind is running here, there, this, that. We have trained the mind to fluctuate. We have trained the mind to, get disturbed. Now you have to train the mind to focus on one thing. And once you start giving this training to the mind to concentrate on one thing, that gives you chitta ekagrata, sharpness of the mind. And with this sharp, pure mind, turn the attention towards the Lord, which is none other than the consciousness in you. Then you experience peace and bliss. Then you experience that changeless substratum. And once that state is experienced, that person has become a Jīvan-mukta, liberated even while living. So here the teaching ends. It is a summary of the entire thing. Now the king asks a question. O Guru, yatha sandharyate brahman dharana yatra sammata yadrishi vahare dasho purushasya manomalam. Now Parīkshita is asking as though he is a beginner. Oh Guru, you said that you should meditate, but where to meditate? What to meditate? You said meditate on consciousness, etc. But what is this consciousness? This is the normal question which everyone asks. See, if I am asked to meditate on an object, it is easy. Concentrating the mind on some gross object, it is easy. Now you are asking me to concentrate on consciousness, etc. What is this consciousness? Where is the consciousness? Where to meditate? How to meditate? Right? So now Shuka Brahmarshi understands. Poor fellow, he's a beginner. I should not give heavy doses to him. So therefore, he says, okay, now listen. Jitasano jitashvasah jitasango jitendriyah sthule bhagavato rupe manasandhare dhiya visheshastasya dehoyam sthavishtascha sthaviyasam yatredam drishyate vishvam bhutam bhavyam bhavaccha sat. Okay, do as much as you can. What are the things to be done in the beginning? Jita asana. Can you do this much? Jita asana means, can you sit in a place comfortably without moving? Once you have, once you are able to sit in a particular asana without moving for at least say half an hour or 1 hour, then we can say you are jitasana, meaning you have won that asana. Won that asana means what? At least you are able to sit in that particular posture without moving for some time. And this is essential. Can you do this? Yes. Jitashvasaha, second step. Can you do this much? Jitashvasa means what? Can you breathe slowly and deeply? Yes, that also I can do. Jitendriyaha, can you withdraw all your sense organs from the outer world? Yes, that also I can do. Select some solitary place and etc. Jita Sangaha, can you withdraw the mind from the world and fix in something, some image of God? Okay, that also I can do. If that you can't do, then do this. Now the moment it comes to mind, everything becomes difficult. At the body level it is easy, at the sense level it is easy, at the prana level also it is easy. The moment it comes to mind, concentrating the mind upon particular thing, it becomes difficult. So therefore, a very nice technique is given. This is called as Vishvarūpa Īshvara Upāsana. Now this technique is being given. What has to be done? Meditate on God, on the grossest form of God. Meditate on God in its grossest form. So here, the technique given is, here Shuka Brahmarshi is taking us from our experience to divine experience. Now point by point we will see. The point is, just like there is a microcosm, there is a macrocosm. Just like there is a vyashti, there is a samashti. Just like there is individual, there is total. Just like there is an individual, there is something called God. Now start applying each and everything related to you. Number 1, do you have a body? Yes, I have a body. In the same way, imagine that the entire cosmos is his body. whatever is applicable to you, same thing you apply to the infinite Lord. Do you have a body? Yes. In the same way, imagine that the whole universe, the infinite cosmos is His body. Point number 1. Point number 2. Do you have so many limbs in your body? Body parts? Yes. Hands are there, legs are there, eyes are there, ears are there. In the same way, imagine that Bhagavan also has got eyes and ears in this infinite cosmos. But oh Guru, I have these eyes, which are the eyes of Lord. You should help me in meditation. So this one chapter is dedicated for that. Some samples I will read. Patala, now there are 14 worlds. Patala is his underfeet. Rasatala is his heels. Mahatala, ankle. Talatala, foreleg. Sutala, 2 knees. Atala Vitala, 2 thighs. Earth is his hip. Swarga, chest. Maharloka, neck. Janaloka, face. Tapoloka, forehead. Satyaloka, head. Sun and moon, they are his eyes. Day and night, they are his eyelids. Rivers are his blood vessels. Trees, his hairs. Wind is his breath. Clouds, locks of hair. Brahmana is his face. Kshatriya, arms. Vaishya, thighs. Shudra, feet. So many other things are also there in this chapter. So what is the point? The point is, just like I have limbs in my body, Bhagavan also has limbs in his body. Corollary is, I am a part of his body. Because I am a part of the cosmos. So therefore I am a part of his body. This is point number. First point is, I have a body, he has a body. Second is, I have limbs, he also has limbs. Third one, just like my limbs don't have existence other than me, the moment my limbs are separated from me, those limbs don't have any existence. In the same way, the limbs of Bhagavan don't have any existence other than him, separated from him. Just like my body parts don't have existence when they are separated from me, without me. For example, I chop my hand and throw it. Can it exist there? It goes away. Just like my limbs don't have existence other than me, in the same way the world has no existence other than him. Corollary, I don't have any existence other than him. This is point number 3. Point number 4. I love each and every limb of my body unconditionally. I love each and every limb of my body unconditionally. In the same way, Bhagavan loves each and every limb of his body, which is cosmos, unconditionally. Corollary, he loves me, who am a part of this cosmos, unconditionally. This is point number 4. From this comes Bhakti Yoga. What is Bhakti Yoga? Bhakti Yoga is, first step is not that you love God. No, first step is God loves you. Therefore you are able to love God. The first step in Bhakti Yoga is that you become aware that God loves you so much, infinitely, unconditionally He loves you. When you start experiencing His love towards you, you start loving Him. It is not that you love Him and then He loves you. No. Till now I was not aware that this God is loving me. As I become aware of it, slowly, I also start loving Him. Right? So what is this fourth point? Just like I love each and every limb of my body unconditionally, infinitely, in the same way Bhagavan loves his limbs also unconditionally, infinitely. Corollary, he loves me also because I am a part of this cosmos. I am a limb in his body. Fourth. So from this comes the concept of Bhakti Yoga. Fifth point. I expect my limbs to serve me, to obey me. I expect my limbs to serve me, to obey me. I expect my limbs to live harmoniously with each other. I expect my limbs to live a Dharmic life. Now, what is the Dharmic life of my limbs? Each and every limb should function in such a way that the body is safe, secure, happy, healthy. Isn't it? These are the things which I expect from the limbs. The limbs should function in such a way, they should function harmoniously in such a way that they protect this body. They take care of this body. They keep this body healthy and secure. This way they must function. So there are certain limbs without which I cannot live. So those limbs become the highest priority while protection. For example, head. Without head I cannot live. So therefore, how should the limbs function? Limbs should function in such a way that the high priority limbs are protected. So the low priority limbs should sacrifice themselves in order to protect the high priority limb. So this is the dharma which I expect from my limbs. So therefore, if a stone is thrown at you and it is straight coming to your head, what will you do? Hands will come. Why? Without hands I can live, without head I cannot live. So the hands have to protect the head. Are you able to understand? So this is the swadharma of each and every limb. When I eat food, food is digested in the stomach, energy is produced. Stomach should not say, I have produced the energy, so all energy should belong to me. No, it should give it to all parts of the body. This is called harmonious living. Living a life of sacrifice and service. Each one is sacrificing, each one is serving each other, and thus this body is healthy. Expand. So what does Bhagavan expect from his limbs? He also expects the same thing. Everyone should serve him. So what is it that which he is expecting from me? I am also a limb. So what is the expectation which Bhagavan has from me? I must live a Dharmic life. What is Dharmic life? Living a life of service and sacrifice. So this is the meaning, third chapter. Yajñārthāt karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Action must be performed for yajña. Yajña means Lord. Yajña means sacrifice. Sahayajña prajasrishtva purovachah prajapatihi anena prasavishyadhvam yeshavosthishta kamadhuk. This is the way to prosperity. This is the way to spiritual evolution. Live a life of sacrifice. Live a life of service. Keeping the bigger picture in mind. So here comes the concept of karma yoga. Earlier was bhakti yoga. Now this is karma yoga. How I must live my life. Keeping God in mind. For his pleasure. I must live a life. So Bhagavan loves dharmic people. People who live a life of dharma. Giving more than what they take. Producing more than what they consume. So when such people live, everybody is benefited. Not only the world is benefited, he is also benefited. So this is how Bhagavan establishes dharma in the world. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So Bhagavan comes for what? For dharma samsthapana. That's why he takes avatar. What does it mean? He loves dharma. So if he loves dharma, whom will he protect? He will protect the dharmic people. That is why it is said, paritranaya sadhunam. He comes to protect the sadhus. Who are the sadhus? Sadhus means the one who is walking the path of righteousness, one who is walking the path of dharma. Such people are called sadhu. So if he has to establish dharma in the society, what he should do? He should protect the dharmic people. He should encourage the dharmic people. That is how you protect dharma. Just like if you want to encourage science in the society, you must encourage scientists. If you have to encourage music in the society, you must encourage musicians. So if you have to encourage dharma in the society, you will have to encourage dharmic people. So what does he do? Bhagavan takes avatar by protecting the dharmic people and destroying the adharmic people. Vinashayata dushkritam. How does he destroy the adharmic people? First, he gives chance to them. If a person is walking in the path of adharma, first step is give teaching, right understanding. See, this way if you go, it is not good for you and it is not good for others. Logically try to convince him. So once he is convinced, then that adharmic person is destroyed. Now that adharmic person becomes a dharmic person. So the first step is always the path of, as they say, what is that? Samadana Bedadanda. Peaceful method. What is a peaceful method? Peaceful method is by giving right education, right understanding. But suppose he is not listening, then Bhagavan will have to use his chakra. Distraction. So Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. Puja Gurudev has written the commentary. What does it mean? So the first thing is Shankha, the sound of conch. What is this conch? It is a call to all of us to walk the path of dharma. That is conch. Some walk the path, many don't. Those who walk the path, they are giving lotus, Padma. What is this Padma? It is liberation. Such a person becomes a liberated soul. Those who don't walk the path of dharma, he uses mace. Mace means gada. He strikes now and then to set them right. Right. But suppose even then he is not listening, then the final thing comes. Chakra. He is eliminated. When he is not improving himself, not correcting himself, then he has to be eliminated. So what does Bhagavan expect from us? He expects us to live a dharmic life. Life of dharma. Life of service, life of sacrifice, life of devotion. This is what he expects. Just like in our body, we expect each and every limb to serve us, to live in harmony. But suppose a particular limb becomes a threat to the whole body, what do? You just chop it off. Ampute that limb, isn't it? A wound is there, it has become pus and it is spreading. First you try to treat it. But if no treatment works, then cut it off, because it becomes a threat to the whole system. So therefore, if I want to develop devotion for God, if I want to please God, if I want Bhagavan to love me, what should I do? Live a dharmic life. He gives clear indication. Whenever we go into the adharmic ways, he gives indication. How does he give indication? By a disturbed mind, by conscience prick. These are all indications from Bhagavan. When Parīkshita did that, putting the snake onto the shoulder of this Rishi, what happened to his mind when he came back? His mind was extremely disturbed. Any disturbance of the mind is an indication that Bhagavan is not happy with us. Any disturbance is an indication, it's a symptom. Mind becomes akshiptam, disturbance. The moment mind is disturbed, understand, I am not walking the path of dharma, I am walking the path of adharma. Somewhere adharmic thoughts have come. The wise people at the thought level itself they correct before those thoughts solidify into actions. They nip it in the bud. So those people who are meditating regularly, they can do this at a very early stage. So any disturbance of the mind is a coded message from God that your thoughts have to be corrected. Beware. If you don't take care of your thought, these negative thoughts are going to become negative words and negative actions. You are going to create disharmony. You are going to give pain to all and pain to yourself also. Beware. This is the message. When the mind is at peace, that mind is light. You enjoy the company of that mind when the mind is peaceful. So when the mind is peaceful, you are in harmony with the entire cosmos. You are in harmony with God. So that is why this peace is so much emphasized. The peace of mind is the proof that you are leading a truly spiritual life. So this is point number 5. 5. What is point number 5? I expect each and every limb of mine to obey my commands. They should function for my happiness. In the same way, Bhagavan expects us to listen to him. This is point number 5. Point number 6. In and through every limb of this body, I exist. I permeate. Even a small hair is pulled from where I experience the pain. What does it mean? I am there. Is it? I am there in every pore of my body. In the same way, Bhagavan is there in every pore of his creation, his cosmos. If he is there everywhere, definitely he should be there in me also. If he is there in me, definitely I should be able to experience him in me also. Yes. Getting it? Just like I am there in every pore of my body, Bhagavan is there in every pore of his creation, every particle of his creation. Now since I am a part of his creation, definitely he is there in me also. If he is there in me, definitely I should be able to experience him in me also. I don't have to go in search of him everywhere in other places. I can find him right where I am. How to find him in me? That is the last verse of this chapter. Sasarvadhi vrityanubhuta sarvah atma yatha swapna janekshitaikah tam satyamanandanidhim bhajeta nanyatra sajjetyata atmapatah. How to find him in me? So it is said, Saha sarvadhi vritti anubhuta sarvaha. He is none other than that awareness in you, that consciousness in you. What is he doing? Sarvadhi vritti anubhuta. He is just experiencing, he is just aware of the thoughts which are passing through in your mind. Thoughts are passing by in your mind. There is a light of consciousness in the light of which you are seeing all these thoughts. It is not only in one being, it is there in everyone. Sarvadhi vritti anubhuta. In everyone, there is this light of consciousness because of which we are aware of these thoughts. The light of consciousness, the light of awareness, which is knowing everything, whose nature is very knowing itself. That consciousness is, who is he? That is Atma. That is he, that Supreme Lord. Yatha, just like Swapna janekshitaikaha, just like in the dream, you see the entire dream world. The dreamer is also there. Dreamer has got a dream body also. With the dream body, he is going through so many experiences in the dream world. But suppose the dreamer asks, where is God? What will you say? Swapna janekshitekaha. There is one thing which is seeing everything. There is something who is just watching the whole dream. This watcher, the witness of the whole dream, is not a part of the dream. It is something other than the dream. This witness of the dream is the reality, isn't it? This is the example given. So when you wake up, all the dream world gone, dream body is gone, dream experience is gone, dream time, dream space, everything gone, but one thing remains. What is that one thing? The one who was watching the dream is the same consciousness, the one who survives the dream. Isn't it? Only one thing survives in the entire dream. What survives? The witness, the consciousness. And that is why after waking up we say, these are the things which I experienced. What does it mean? You were there at that time, the very same you who are describing it. This consciousness, which is the very substratum of your waking, dream and deep sleep, this consciousness is that Bhagavan. But what is the proof that he is the very support of the world? The proof is, where do you see the world? You see the world only when the mind is active. So therefore the entire world is existing on your mind, in your mind. What is mind? Mind is nothing but flow of thoughts. Where do the thoughts reside? It resides in consciousness. Because you are conscious of your thoughts. Thoughts are ripples in consciousness. So consciousness is the one which supports the thoughts. In these thoughts the world is seen. So therefore what is the support of the world? The support of the world is nothing but this consciousness. Therefore, this consciousness is none other than the Supreme Lord, who is there shining as the very consciousness in each and every heart, in each and every being, remaining as the very substratum, as the very support of the entire universe. So what is the instruction now? Tam satyam ananda nidhim bhajeta. Worship him. What is his nature? He is a nidhi, treasure house of satyam, of truth, of anandam, of bliss. Hold on to him alone, worship him alone, because na anyatra sajjet yata atmapataha. Never get attached to anything else. What will happen if you get attached to anything else? Yat atmapataha, there is a fall. You will definitely fall. Falling means what? Not falling from some height. Falling means you are creating a cause of suffering for yourself. Being born again and again to this world is the sign that we have fallen in our previous birth. The proof of fall is punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. The proof of fall is suffering, physical suffering, mental suffering. So what has to be done? Now see how he has built the topic. First start from the gross world, the cosmos. Then comparing it with the Vyashti, the whole philosophy of Samashti. Vyashti and Samashti, comparison. So from that comes Bhakti Yoga, from that comes Karma Yoga. Through this, when the mind is purified, when the mind is extremely purified, you come to experience that Lord as the very self in you. Then you come to know that I am not in the world, rather world is in me. See the change. First start with I am in the world. So Bhagavan is there, he is the whole cosmos, etc. He is outside this, etc. You start from there. And slowly, what happens to the knowledge? The knowledge turns. It's a U-turn. The one who was saying, I am in the world, once he becomes realized, he says, no, the world is in me. I am the support of the world. So therefore, hold on to this consciousness. And this consciousness can come to our intuitive experience only if the mind is purified. And how to purify the mind? Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga. Right? So therefore, this should be the highest goal, the greatest goal to be kept in life. Everything else is secondary, insignificant. Now someone say, oh Shuka Brahmarshi, there are so many other things in life. House, food, that, this, etc. What about that? If totally I dedicate my life for this knowledge, what about other things? Now look at the what you call level of dispassion of the Shuka Brahmarshi. You see what he says. Satyam kshito kim kashipo prayasehi bahau swasiddhe upabarhane kim satyanjalo kim purudhanna patrya digvalkalado sati kim dukulai. Bhagavan, where will I sleep? Arey, when the earth is there, why do you need a bed? Lie down. Why do you need a bed when Mother Earth is there? Lie down there. So what is being said is, make your spiritual need maximum, material need minimum. Now this is the height, this is the highest. For Shuka Brahmarshi it may be possible, but understand the spirit. When there is this earth available, why do you need a bed? Bahau swasiddhe upabarhane kim. So then you ask, what about pillow? When you have your hand, why do you need a pillow? Use your own hand as your pillow. Then, but what about plates, etc. to eat food? Satyanjalo kim purudhanna patrya. When you have your palms, why do you need plates, etc.? Eat from your palms. Be independent. Okay, what about the dress? Digvalkalado. When directions are there, why do you need dress? Okay, Swamiji, how can you say like that and all? You mean to say I should walk naked? Okay, then Valkalado. There are a lot of what you call. Take out the barks of the tree and put it around you. But that's enough. But that is very rough and all that. Okay, then do one thing. Chiranikim pathinasanti. Are there not rags of clothes lying on the roadside? Take it, stitch it and put it around. Okay, then what about food? Dishanti bhiksham naivangripaha. Are there not trees which are laden with fruits? Right? What about water? Saritaha api shushyan. Rivers have got dried up or what? What about house? Ruddha guha kim? Are there not caves, etc.? So many vacant caves are there. Go into it. Why do you want to construct a house? But no, in the caves there will be snakes and lions, etc. Ajitaha avati na upasannan. Is there not a Bhagavan who is protecting his devotee? You understand? This is the limit of dispassion, highest. Parivrajaka. And there are people who live this way. It's not an exaggeration. Totally surrendered unto Lord. Bhagavan, now you take care. Full stop. So, the point here is, Kasmad bhajanti kavayah dhana durmadanthan. Why do you live a beggarly life? Begging in front of rich people who are dhana durmada andhan, blinded by the pride of their wealth. Why do you want to beg in front of them? When Sakshat Bhagavan is taking care of the whole universe, He is taking care of you also, then why do you want to live like a beggarly life? Be independent, hold on to Him and live happily. This is the ideal life. So the lesson we have to learn is only this. Let us totally surrender unto God. Whatever responsibilities come to us unasked, let us fulfill the responsibilities. But let us understand that if Bhagavan has given us any responsibility, He will give us the ability also to fulfill those responsibilities. Whatever is needed, it will come from Him. Do you need money? It will come. Do you need help from the people? It will come. Do you need abilities and talents? It will come. Why it will come? It will come because you have been given responsibilities by Him. It is His responsibility to see that you fulfill your responsibilities properly. So turn your attention to Him. Don't depend on anyone else. Even when you are superficially depending on others, understand that person also has come in your life because of His command. Always rivet your attention unto Lord alone. This is the message. This is the way we should live. In this way when we live, evam svachitte swata eva siddha atma priyortho bhagavan anantah tam nivratto niyatartho bhajeta samsara hetu paramascha yatra. This way when we live, what happens? Evam svachitte. In your own heart, what you will find? Swata eva siddha. That Bhagavan which is very clearly evident. As what? As consciousness. Swata eva siddha. He doesn't need any proof for existence. Just as I don't need any proof for my existence, He doesn't need any proof for His existence. Meaning Swata eva is so clearly evident. Consciousness is so clearly evident in everyone. That Bhagavan, who is Priyaha, extremely beloved. Whom do we love the most? Each and everyone, we love ourselves the most. It's a fact. No, Swamiji, I love my husband the most. I love my wife the most. Impossible. You love her because she is serving you. Therefore you love her. Full stop. The moment she stops serving you, you stop loving her also. In this world, everybody is loving oneself only. If there is somebody who is giving happiness to me, then I love that person. Isn't it? It's a fact. Atmana priyaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Atmana kamaya, I think. Atmana kamaya. Upanishad says. Everything becomes, lovable because I love myself the most. Now why do I love myself the most? I love myself the most because my true self is none other than Bhagavan. So unknowingly I am loving Bhagavan only the most. And you cannot love anyone else other than Bhagavan. Ignorant people don't know it. They think I am the body, so they love the body. Wise people know, no, I am not the body, I am the self. So they know that. So even when they love, they know that they are loving none other than Bhagavan. So it is said, Atma Priyaha. Everybody loves oneself, one's own true self. Which is Arthaha, which is the ultimate truth. Which is Bhagavan Anantaha, which is infinite Bhagavan. So what one should do? Tam nivritto niyatartho bhajeta. One should worship Him. Niyatartha, with determination, with sincerity, with dedication. Then what is the end result? Samsāra hetu uparamascha yatra. Once this devotion becomes complete, what happens? Samsāra hetu. Hetu means cause. The cause of samsara, uparama, ends. The whole samsara, the whole suffering, birth, death, etc. It's a, full stop. This chakra, janana marana chakra, it stops. So this is the way. Furthermore, we will see in the evening. Some more interesting topics are there. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet, asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ